sophomores working
Okay.
today
Okay.
during this part with the freshmen, but there are some.
Okay. So yeah, my name's Eric Brossart. I was part of the 2011 and the 12 team. Really cool to win. I was also called up as a sophomore in 2010, and I wanted to kind of talk just briefly on that because that was kind of the I don't know, you guys probably don't remember, but in 2010, do you guys remember playing Little League? Like looking up and seeing those guys that were like 2 or 3 years older than you guys that were like the studs of the Little League. So I was always the youngest guy on the team, and I remember playing for the Reds and Connor Wade, and who by the way was a pitcher for the U of A and just totally dominated in the College World Series. Anyways, he was throwing like 95, and I'm a sophomore. Anyways, what I'm getting at here is I was called up as a sophomore because the catcher, that was a senior, got hurt. And when I got called up, it was like a bittersweet call. Like the guy got hurt. I was really good friends with him. He was one of my mentors as a sophomore. And I was like really excited, but then I was like, oh man, this kind of sucks. This guy just went down. Their whole season kind of could be coming to a halt if they don't come together as a team. And right, remember that? And it was really sad. And so that call, I remember it vividly. I was at In-N-Out Burger. It was after one of the JV games I was on, and they called and were like, hey, you're gonna get called up. You're gonna play. And I'm like, okay. So it didn't set in right there, right? So the next day comes and I'm like, man, this is crazy. I'm gonna be playing with these guys that I looked up to when I was like, 10, 11 years old in Little League. And I didn't really, truthfully, when I sat in that dugout, believe that I was good enough to be part of that team. It was really like the first time in my baseball career that I didn't feel like I was the stud. You guys ever felt like that? It was crazy. It was really weird. So feeding that in, we get into, they're ranked number 1 in 2010, this team. And I thought these guys were just unreal. Like they were so good. And they ended up losing the very first round in 2010. And I was a sophomore. We got on the bus, and all these guys that I thought were, they're all studs, were crying their eyes out. Like guys that they were just dying, right? It was the most like horrid thing I've ever seen, right? You get on the bus, you get back to the locker room, there's not much to say. The season's over. Some of these guys are gonna never play baseball again in their lives. It's really tough to see. And I remember sitting on that bus and in that locker room saying to myself, man, I do not ever want to feel like this. And when it gets to be my time in my junior and my senior year, we got to really come together. So feeding in, my junior year starts, and yes, I wasn't the starting guy. I did get quite a few ABs. I got about 65 ABs my junior year, which was probably more than any other junior, right, at that time? Yeah. So we had a stacked senior class. There were 12 seniors that year, and they were freaking good, man. So there were 3 guys in particular. Nick and Jordy are 2 of the guys I was going to talk about today. So it's kind of cool. You guys know Jordy Hine, and you guys are going to get to meet Nick this afternoon. And there's one other guy named Colby Targan, and the 3 of those guys, they all played football here at Chaparral as well. They all 3 won state championships for their sophomore, their junior, and their senior year in football. And what I'm getting at is these 3 guys completely shaped the identity of the team as we're going to be the hardest working guys in the state. No one's going to outwork us in BP. No one's going to outwork us in, the bullpen. No one's going to work harder in cardio. Like we are going to be a group of grinders and a bunch of savages that go out and take the field, and nobody's going to beat us, and nobody's going to want to come and play Chaparral. Like that was the mentality that they built and that they brought upon all of us as like the junior class. We all were like looking up to these guys. The seniors were the ones that everybody's going to look to, right? So how many seniors in here? The majority. Okay. So you guys are the ones. You guys are the leaders of the team. You guys are the ones that need to shape the formation, the identity of your guys' squad, and the juniors and any sophomores that are going to be on this team. They're going to be looking to you guys to lead and create the character of the team that you guys are going to play with this year. So that leads us to to my third point, when I start my senior year, we were losing 12 seniors. So it was like a whole new team was basically taking the field, our senior class. And we had obviously a big, shoes to fill during that time. It was pretty interesting. I remember sitting, are you guys getting together like over at each other's houses and talking about the season and like talking about who's gonna be batting lead off and starting on the mound the first game? You guys having those talks yet? Those are fun, right? So I remember we're sitting in my buddy Tiger Talley's kitchen, and Tiger was our ace that year. So he holds a record for most strikeouts in a single season, I think. At this point, he was a stud. Anyway, so I'm sitting in Tiger's living room, and we're talking about who's going to be playing where and all this stuff. And he goes, man, we're losing 12 seniors. Who's going to be like our horse, our captain, like our guy that's going to like get the team going, And I was kind of sitting there like, man, I know in my head I was thinking myself, right? Like all you seniors are probably thinking that, or you guys know who it is, right? And Tiger said, dude, you and I we gotta put the team on our back, kind of thing, you know what I mean? And take that same mentality that we were kind of brought up with Deregis and Targan and Hine. And dude, we ran so many sprints. Does he have you guys doing those sprints out at the football field still? Are you guys doing that? Did you guys do that last year? Yeah, last year. Freshman year? Okay. All right, so anyways, we were the hardest working team in the state, man, and I think that's the point I'm getting at is don't leave anything on the table, guys. Like, you guys all played for Coach Abram, right? All of you guys?
Yeah.
Did he tell you guys about the 3 days?
Yes.
Yeah, right? So you got 3 days, right? You got yesterday that's out of the blue. You don't have that anymore. You can't control yesterday. You got tomorrow, which, who knows? You may get hurt. You never know. You're not going to get guaranteed tomorrow. And you got today, right? You got today to go out, bust your ass, work hard, come together as a team, back each other up, be the first guy out of the dugout, right? Like, just do the simple things, man. Like, do the simple things better than anybody in the state, and back each other up and come together. And when the season's over, you guys will look each other in the eye and say, man, we either gave it 100% or we could have done a little bit more. And part of that 2010 team, even though they lost their biggest guy, there were guys in that dugout that said to themselves, man, I wish I could have gone back and had one more AB, or I wish I could have ran that ground ball out a little harder, or I wish I would have done this a little bit, spent a little bit more time in the cage. Just leave it all out there, guys. This is like the coolest moment ever. Like I know you guys are in the moment now, right? Because it's it's baseball season, but you guys are so lucky, man, to get to go play baseball. Take advantage of it, man. It's so cool. These are like such fun times. You guys are gonna remember. Like I'm 24 now, and dude, it is so freaking cool to be here. Like I hope you guys realize, like, you guys are gonna come back one day too, and you're gonna look at that board, man, and you're gonna see your numbers up there or you're not, and it's not even about the numbers. It's just about knowing that you gave it everything. So that's all I got, man. I just hope you guys go out and have an awesome season and leave it all out on the field. All right. Thanks for having me.
Show them the rings, man. Show them the rings.
I'll pass these around. These are, this is 2011 and 2012. If you guys want to pass these around, go ahead. They're pretty cool. I've never worn them before, but this is the first time I've ever worn them, but they're cool to look at. So, you guys gonna have a good team this year? You guys pretty excited? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
You guys have any questions?
Yeah, you guys
for
have
him?
any questions?
He's doing what you guys are trying to do, or he's done what you guys are trying to do. If you got any questions, feel free. Get it out.
It's pretty sweet, huh? Yeah, the 2012 one, I actually picked that. That's a bigger one than the one in the front.
This is back to this.
Yeah.
You need to get in. Is that what you're Oh. Oh, okay.
What college did you go to?
So I actually I went to Yavapai. Yeah, I played for Coach Dawson for like half.
Isn't that where Paul went?
Yeah, Cole went there. Yep. So I say I went to Yavapai. I went to Yavapai for about half a semester and hated it. So came back here and I was gonna play at Paradise Valley, but I ended up stopping baseball and I ended up getting my real estate license. I've been selling houses for the last 5 years. So I skipped the whole school year. But stay in school.
Tell them about some of the other members on your team from 2012, what they're doing now.
Yeah, so pretty much everybody, well, every single senior went on to play baseball. How many of you guys are going on after this, senior-wise? Are you guys playing after this year? Most of you guys? So I didn't get to play after this year, but I remember every single close game that we had. Well, even the not so close games. You guys will realize when you play as a senior, in junior year too, you guys are gonna remember all the plays, the close plays, and the just the crazy moments, right? Like they're gonna be vivid memories when like 5 years from now. It's crazy. Like I remember playing Horizon, and we had a doubleheader against Horizon playoff wise, and both games went into extra innings. I think we played 10 innings on both games. One was won in a walk-off. One was won in the bottom of the bottom of the 10th. But I can tell you all the plays from each game. It's pretty insane. So just if I clicked with any of you guys today, it's just that don't have any regrets and leave it all out there and back each other up and come together as leaders. Like you seniors, that's like the biggest thing. That was the biggest thing that separated us from other teams, is we had a senior class that really came together and bonded as brothers, and that was the differential of us winning and losing right there, was that we all had each other's backs. You guys are all best friends, right? You guys hate one another? So there's a few faces. Yeah, we'll get used to it, man. You're not gonna like all of each other, but you gotta respect one another. That's the biggest thing, right? You gotta respect one another, because when you get on that diamond, you guys are brothers. You get in between the lines, put all the other shit aside, because it really doesn't matter at that point. There was guys I caught that I didn't really love. Like I was a catcher, I had to like go behind the plate. There was a guy, so Nick Diamond. You guys know Nick Diamond? Does that name ring a bell? So Nick and I grew up from like day one. We were close friends, but we always had like a love-hate. You know what I mean? Like where you got a friend that's like really like one of your buddies, but you also like kind of give him shit a lot. I was that way with Nick. So with Nick and I, there were times where he'd be shaking me off, and I'd call time, and he'd be like, "Get the fuck back behind home plate," and I'm like, and I'm sitting there like, "What the fuck," And my point is, just put all the personal shit aside when you step on that diamond, because even with Nick and I, like we were dominant. The two of us, like when we were behind, when I was catching him and he was pitching and he was in the zone, dude, he was untouchable, and he could throw the ball anywhere in the zone. He could throw it in the dirt. It was crazy because he trusted me and I trusted him, even though we didn't always see eye to eye on everything. So I don't know. That's another whole story. But anyways, all right, guys, we'll have a good practice, and thanks for having me out today. Hope you guys have an awesome season. Go crush it. All right.